The WHS 1119 begins right now. Here at 11 o'clock, we are giving you the first alert, and we're looking at our futurecast that is covering Tuesday into Wednesday on your screen. You see it is painting the picture of severe weather with the possibility even of tornadoes. In fact, through Thursday morning, we all need to be aware that we could see a repeat from early April when 10 tornadoes popped up across our region. That early warning back then in April certainly saved some lives. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us with us here on the night team. I'm Doug Proffitt. Meteorologist Colleen Peterson is already busy getting new updates. Hey, Colleen.
Yeah, I hope people are paying attention because an active week ahead. I mean, there is a tornado outbreak in Oklahoma today. Thankfully, we did not see severe weather. However, tomorrow, that is the first round. It's a lower risk, but it's not zero. We could see an isolated storm produce damaging wind, large hail, and of course, that spin-up tornado. But the more significant round is going to be Wednesday afternoon through the evening. This is where we can see the longer-lived tornadoes, some damaging winds greater than 70 miles per hour with a nasty line that is expected to move through. So let's talk about tomorrow, the Tuesday threat with round one. There is a risk level 2 out for our area across Kentucky and Indiana. Damaging wind, large hail, and an isolated tornado is possible. So it's possible. It's definitely a much lower risk than what we're watching for your Wednesday event. We did see some showers throughout the day today, but you can see on that radar that rain has cleared out. We're not seeing any more showers overnight tonight. Starting tomorrow morning, we're staying mostly dry, but into the afternoon, I think that's when we can start to see an isolated storm, potentially have that chance of getting strong, and then another round as we head towards 8 o'clock in the night. This time it's more scattered, and then some heavy downpours. This is mainly going to be south of Bardstown where that line really starts to develop. So I think the highest risk is going to be areas south of Bardstown in our communities around 1, 2 o'clock early Wednesday morning. And then we switch to Wednesday afternoon. This is that nasty line that's going to be pushing through Wednesday late evening into the overnight hours. I'm going to time it out and break down those impacts that we can expect and help prepare for here in Kentucky. Doug?
All right, we are getting ready again. Thank you, Colleen. We have a new update tonight. In fact, it is sad and troubling new details from Metro Police about a hit and run that happened right on I-65. Police say now a man who was killed near an exit was hit by 3 separate vehicles that did not stop, and it was several hours before police were even called about the fatality. Police now say it happened about 1:30 this morning on I-65 southbound, right at the Arthur Street exit near the University of Louisville. Investigators say the man had climbed over the guardrail onto the interstate and was standing along the shoulder when he was hit by a light-colored pickup truck. The truck didn't stop. Police say that the victim was then hit by 2 other cars that also didn't stop. Officers weren't called to the scene until 9:15 this morning. They found the man dead. Police are asking for help identifying the truck. They do not have the make or model. Call 574 LMPD if you can help. Metro Police also need tips after an 8-year-old boy and a man were shot in what police say is a drive-by shooting in Louisville. It happened about 9:30 last night at the Heritage Green Apartments on Kingston Avenue in South Louisville. WHS 1119's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie talked to a resident who is tired of the violence.
Residents at a Southside apartment complex are left shaken up and frustrated after police say an 8-year-old boy and a man were shot in a drive-by shooting Sunday night.
Sad. Enough said.
Police say the 2 victims were released from the hospital on Monday. Mark Wilder lives at the Heritage Green Apartments. He says the violence has to stop, and now he has fear for young people living in the complex after Sunday night's shooting.
Who's going to be the next kid who gets shot around here?
Neighbors I talked to say they're not surprised by the violence, and they're hoping that this shooting raises more awareness for heightened security.
It just ain't that many security around here. When I walk to the store, I might see a couple of them, and that's it. As police work to find who is responsible, neighbors are hopeful for the victim's recovery. I just hope that kid can pull through.
In Louisville, Taylor Woods, WHAS 1119 on your side.
If you have any information that can help police in this investigation, call the anonymous tip line 574 LMPD. You can also visit their online portal. After serving nearly half of his 60 days for contempt of court in jail, former Clark County Sheriff Jamie Null and his legal team were back in the courtroom today in southern Indiana. The afternoon hearing focused on a recent search of Null's 4 properties to find any additional firearms. A former FBI agent testified that during searches between April 17th and May 1st, he found 2 semi-automatic pistols in Null's Jeffersonville home. He also found a shotgun, which he was allowed to keep under his original bond conditions. weapons. Under those conditions, Null was prohibited from having firearms. Today, Judge Larry Medlock decided not to extend Null's punishment because Null never certified all the guns and had certified that all the guns had been removed after an April hearing.
But because that certification had not been made, I don't think it would be fair to do so. But I did give Mr. Boyles and his client warning, should any further weapons be found, there will be more sanctions.
Null has served 27 of his 60 days for contempt of court at the Scott County, Indiana jail. A jockey in the Kentucky Derby could face disciplinary action. We learned late today the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission has ordered that Tyler Gaffleone, aboard second-place finisher Sierra Leone, needs to attend a film review of the race coming up this week. In the stretch, Gaffleone appeared to put his hand and whip on contender Forever Young and his jockey. After the Derby, the stewards determined that no review was needed of the Derby, pointing out that no objections were filed by anybody. In a statement, the commission says, quote, the stewards conduct film reviews routinely to review the conduct of jockeys during a race. The stewards, in their discretion, can take disciplinary action against the jockey following the review. Gaffleone will meet with the stewards coming up on this Thursday. As we near the end of the school year, tomorrow, the Jefferson County School Board is set to make a decision on start times for next year, starting in August. The board is weighing two options that would change the start times for most schools. The second option is more drastic, but district leaders have said that they believe that option will save bus drivers time. That option would push the start time at Height Elementary back 2 hours to 9:40 a.m. The principal disagrees with the proposal, saying it could cause congestion outside the school given its proximity to Eastern High School. She's also worried that families and staff may have difficulties adjusting.
Ask for an option 3 and ask for an option 3 that honors your commitment to getting elementary age students to school at what research says is the most appropriate time for them.
The school board will meet at 6 p.m. tomorrow night with approval of start times listed on the agenda. Public comment begins right before that. Look for coverage right here on the night team. By the way, tomorrow is also primary election night in Indiana. One of the biggest races for Hoosiers throughout the day will be who is going to replace term-limited Governor Eric Holcomb. 6 candidates are vying for the Republican nomination, including Senator Mike Braun, Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch, and the former Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill. Then there's Brad Chambers and Eric Doden, who have both led the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, and a late ad in the race, Jamie Reitnauer. Now, with Mike Braun stepping down in his Senate seat is now up for grabs. Republican Jim Banks is running for that unopposed. 2 Democrats, Mark Carmichael and Valerie McRae, are seeking their party's nomination. The polls will be open in Indiana tomorrow from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. Remember, if you're in line by 6 p.m., you'll still be allowed to vote. We have a voter guide posted for you on WHAS11.com. New tonight, Kentuckiana is celebrating nurses who are just joining the workforce and those who have been in it for decades. It's all part of National Nurses Week, and there were 2 different events tonight. WHAS 11 Night Team's Alex Dieterer and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie talked with nursing graduates on what their futures hold after graduation. They're joining us live from the Big 4 Bridge, and Alex, that was the site of one of the events tonight.
Yes, Doug, you can see right behind me, the Big 4 Bridge is lit up, and this is to honor and celebrate most of Kentuckiana's essential workers. Now, it only seems fitting that today, on the first day of Nurses Appreciation Week, over 24 nursing graduates started their own healthcare career. A stage of over 30 Jefferson Community and Technical College nursing graduates, getting pinned by family members, applauding their classmates, and looking to their futures. Graduates like Nate Kirby.
Almost every hospital is understaffed, in need of nurses, techs, nurse practitioners, anything in the healthcare field, they can use it. You know, with us 30-something graduates, hopefully we can help that some.
And Madison Hillsmen say they found their calling.
My dad got really sick a few years back, and we didn't really have any healthcare people in our family. So kind of being that somebody that would have that healthcare knowledge to get into healthcare just kind of kick-started that for me.
During a time of post-pandemic burnout and hospitals being understaffed, these graduates are looking towards a bright future.
It's good to know that there's still good people, even after something like the pandemic, that still wants to go into healthcare.
In November, Norton will open a new hospital in West Louisville. 90% of Jefferson's nursing graduates already secured a job before walking across this stage. A number JCTC clinical instructor Teresa Dudley says will make an impact.
And if 90% of them have a job already, that's 90% of Kentucky or wherever that's prepared for the nurses that we have going out into the field.
Oh, hey, Bonnie.
And maybe one day the nursing graduates will be walking across the Big Four Bridge to celebrate Nursing Day with their peers. Joining the dozens of Baptist healthcare workers walking side by side on Nurse Appreciation Week.
I'm sure somebody will get a picture of the bridge when it lights up.
And we'll just give you one more look here at the Big Four Bridge, shining bright for all of the nurses in Kentuckiana. Now, both of the nursing graduates we spoke with today will be staying in Louisville after graduation to work. Nate will be working at Brooke Hospital, and Madison will be working at the NICU at Norton Women's and Children's. Both say they're excited to start their future. Live in Louisville with photojournalist Elijah McKenzie, Alex Dieterer, the WHAS11 night team on your side.
Alex, thank you. These healthcare companies certainly need them. U of L Health is expanding its reach now, announcing a new $25 million regional cancer center. The expansion of the Brown Cancer Center will be built on the campus of the new U of L Health South Hospital. That's in Bullitt County. U of L Health leaders say the center will specifically increase access to patients in South, Central, and Western Kentucky. The Bullitt County Public Health Director says they've seen a growth of physicians in the area. Specialists are still needed.
That's the one area where we don't have hardly any at all. So to go from no specialists, no oncologists, nothing in the cancer realm, to a center such as this, it's going to be cutting edge research and treatment. It's just a tremendous opportunity.
Once complete, the center will have infusion rooms, exam rooms, oncology, pharmacy, and diagnostic imaging suite. It'll also have space for educational programs and research.